Senator.
I think there is a fundamental difference we're being asked to acknowledge. Is there a difference between Mr. Touré and the animal who attacked Miss Warren's daughter? Of course there is. This man, for a living, is prosecuting criminals. This other individual is a clear criminal with a record. When we say massive deportation, should we consider them the same because they're both undocumented? Let me ask you this, Mr. Reichman-Melnick. Most Americans, when you talk about the cost to the government in billions of dollars for this deportation, are going to say, what most of us fundamentally say, keep me safe. I don't care what the hell it costs. So is it realistic, if we're talking about a massive deportation, for us to be looking at federal budgets for financing?
I think it's important for people to understand that ICE already goes after people with criminal records all the time. And in fact, that has been the priority of the previous 2 to 3 or more presidential administrations, and is what Congress says. So the overwhelming majority of people who would be the targets of a mass deportation campaign do not have criminal records. They are people who have been living otherwise law-abiding lives in this country, living, working, and in many cases paying taxes.
So you estimate, at least in one publication here, that the cost of massive deportation would be $316 billion?
At a minimum. In fact, if you look at it over the course of an 11-year operation, it could be as much as $1 trillion.
And that's for conducting sufficient arrests, detaining immigrants in mass, legal processing, and removal for those 4 categories.
That's right. And we're looking at hundreds of billions of dollars to carry out a deportation of 4% of the U.S. population.
So if you want to do a massive deportation to get Mr. Touré out of this country, we're talking about a massive amount of money that has to be spent.
Enormous sums.
And we hear from General Manna the impact it could have on our National Guard and military if they are given this responsibility. Have you taken that into consideration?
We weren't even able to account for the costs of the military, so you should consider our estimates to be conservative. The actual costs would likely be significantly higher because there are so many factors that we couldn't even attempt to estimate.
You're right. To carry out over 13 million arrests in a short period of time would require somewhere between 220,000 and 490,000 new government employees and law enforcement officers. Nearly impossible given current hiring challenges across law enforcement agencies. Could you explain that?
Well, right now, ICE only has about 8,500 officers in the entire agency, and less than 1,000 are assigned to fugitive operations, whose job it is to go out into the community and arrest people. But because the overwhelming majority of undocumented immigrants have no interaction with the criminal justice system, they have no criminal offenses, that means that to arrest them would require going out into the community, finding them, and rounding them up. And in order to do that would require an enormous investment in personnel far beyond any law enforcement operation ever conducted in the United States history.
So if we are determined to remove Mr. Touré, the prosecutor from Philadelphia, from America, and send him back to Sierra Leone or someplace like that, you're talking about massive amounts of money. If we are to focus on the truly dangerous people in this country, to make sure that they are removed, and should be, that is a lesser amount, for sure.
That's right. And in fact, if you look at data on ICE's own data, non-detained docket, which has already been cited by several members here, that is looking at about 1.2% or less of people who have any sort of serious violent offense. And of course, the resources involved there would be much smaller than trying to deport 13 million people.
Making a priority the dangerous people who are in this country or those who are here illegally and could be dangerous certainly is a much different assignment than saying massive deportations. Thank you, Mr.
Does anybody disagree with the following statement? America has a right to limit how many people can come into our country. Nobody disagrees with me. Mr. Touré, very successful life. You have much to be proud of. During the 4 years of the Trump administration, will you ever, anybody suggest you should be deported?
Thank you, Senator, for the question. No.
support deporting the 1.2 million people who have been through the system and the final order of removal? Do you support them?
Senator, I'm a prosecutor. I
No, I didn't ask you to prosecute. Do you support them?
support people that have committed serious crimes.
Do you support the people who've gone through the system, been denied, had their day in court, final order removal? Do you support them legally?
If you have
As a
committed,
prosecutor, as a rule of law person?
if you have committed a serious crime in this country,
That's not the question. So, is it your belief that every non-criminal in the world can come to America?
no,
How many people want to come to America that are non-criminals? Probably hundreds of millions, and I understand why. It's a great country. So my point is, if you're not willing to say that we're going to deport you after you've had your full day in court, you're facing a final order of deportation, we're going to incentivize people to come forever. Mr. Nolan, is that it, right? How many people did Ronald Reagan provide amnesty to?
Estimates are roughly 2.7 to 3
How
million.
many illegal immigrants are in the country today?
He said roughly 13 million of
Okay,
don't want to be
I would say that the last thing we want to do is give amnesty to people here now because we'll be overrun. Mr. Arthur, would you describe the last 4 years as mass illegal immigration coming to our borders?
I believe that that's fair characterization.
Does anybody disagree that the last 4 years has resulted in mass illegal immigration directly toward America? Because if this is not mass, what the hell would be? Now, how do you answer mass illegal immigration? You start enforcing the laws, Miss Moran. Hearing everything been available to you, and you lose, and it's hard to say you need to go. We don't have an immigration system, Joan.
Good morning, my kids. Okay, over here with Senator Mr. Graham. My kids, I know this is his job, and he's been in there all these years as a law, as people who actually makes the law for the country. Well, he is just as responsible, because why did they have to wait for Trump to come and deport all these people? Because they're not doing their job. That's why. And I really hold him and everybody else accountable who doesn't want to actually call it for what it is. They don't teach civic in the schools, like that young man was saying. He didn't even know until he went to get his driver's license. Because if they would teach the civic laws, those kids would have known before they even go to get there, so they could find out what needs to be done, especially his mom is a citizen. I mean, it's so simple. All you have to do is go to a relative or to your to your CEO, somebody at work, and ask them if they could actually sponsor you. That's all they have to do, okay? All right, my kids, so yeah, he is just as guilty because they've known about this all these years, okay? That's why they wanted to use Trump, because Trump, he's a very straightforward businessman. He's a businessman. He's not a politician. All right, my kids.
This out of control system. So how do you deal with mass illegal immigration? You start with
So that's why I don't really
shouldn't be here. Mr. Toure, I think President Trump
listen
is
to
clear about
some of them.
But what do we tell the kids who've been brought here in the last
I
year?
just
and
listen to
say,
what God says.
do you ever break this chain? So I'm hoping, Mr. Chairman, that once we regain control of our border and try to shut down the poison of America, we can have a logical, rational discussion about dreamers and others. But until we control that border, until we get control of the crime coming into this country.
The border has been open all these years.
Suspicious cannot happen.
It's just they kept it going so that they could stay in the Congress. They use it as a way to get their jobs in there, which is so sad.
There's a reason 70% of the people want deportations. It's not because they're mean. They want to bring either the kids.
Senator Klobuchar?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for having this hearing. And I know that you've worked with some of our
If you have records, if you have records, or if you went to school, you had records, you could use that to, as your document. Say, oh, okay, I didn't know when my parents or my mom brought me. So you can go and take those records to the immigration and explain your situation. Okay, he could have been an asylum seeker with how he didn't have any parents. All right, it's a lot of things he could do. He could even use his records. He could have been adopted. Anyways, here you go.
And I would start with what you said, Mr. Arthur, just about how we don't know yet how this is going to come down. And I do actually appreciate that Senator Durbin did this hearing because I think we've got to start anticipating it and start having these discussions now. I personally don't want to have what happened last time when over a weekend I got calls from a family in Lebanon who was ready to bring their little baby that they had adopted to the U.S. and were stopped practically at the airport with a little kid with a flag sweatshirt on. And we were eventually able, through officials in the past Trump administration, to get that baby adopted and is now a thriving child in the U.S. And so I, Ms. Warren, so appreciate you being here and your strength coming forward. I believe there is a way we could do this right. I'm not certain how this is going to head, but I just want you to know that based on the work that was being done on a bipartisan basis that this last year, that there are people that want to get to this point where we get this order at the border, where we put the funding into enforcement, into things like Border Patrol agents. And this was legislation that I'm sure not everyone agreed with on both sides, but a proposed legislation that Senator Langford had negotiated that was supported by a number of people. And hopefully that can be at least a starting point for discussing it, even though it didn't go anywhere last year.
And by the way, it's been 11 million illegals or something, I don't know, since I believe 2000. At least since God had me started watching, what's going on, and for God to show me who the evil people were. It's not all of these undocumented or these children who was brought here, and not of the people who's really seeking help. It's not them, okay? So I don't know where all these 13 million people came from, but they definitely weren't always. That's a lot. That's kind of weird. So it's not right.
Now what?
My wife is a U.S. citizen. Our entire family are U.S. citizens. Not only would this impact me on a personal level, but it would impact the U.S. citizens that have built their lives around me. U.S. citizens like my mother-in-law, who is legally disabled, has a brain tumor that requires her to take chemo in the United States. If my wife is not around to care for her, my wife is not around to be there for her mother, it's going to cause serious hardship on her life and potentially cause her to lose her life. And also, my brother-in-law has been serving in the Marines since he graduated from high school. He wants to re-enlist in the Marines next year. However, he has to choose between the love for his country or the love for his mom and come back home and take care of his mom. So not only is this impacting me on a personal level, it's impacting the people around us that have built their life around me. I've been in this country for so long, and to think that you can just remove an individual who United States citizens have built their lives around would not cause hardship on other people around them, it's just disheartening.
Okay, kids, I think, yeah, when I went to go to the immigration, um, of course I went to go get my Social Security card because that's what my job, the people that I went to apply at, told me I needed a Social Security card because I said, I don't have one. How do I get one? So I went to go get one. So that's how I found out too, because I don't know, everybody seems so scared. And I remember Mom was like, because I said, oh, can you take me to the immigration place when I first came, so I could find out what I needed to do, because her or Dad could have sponsored me, but I don't know, Mom was so scared and I didn't understand why. So I see now what is going on with all these other people. It's because the lack of knowledge, a nation falls. That's the Bible. It's so true. Lack of knowledge, the nation falls. So that's why everybody was scared, because they don't know what to do. And I don't think they even knew that there was an immigration place where you can go, because I knew I bought my own passport from New Zealand before I came, and I paid for my own fare. So that's why I was encouraging the kids. They need to learn the laws, and they need to learn English, because that's how you feel, more stable, and you don't have to depend on anybody, go do anything for you. You can go do it yourself, and Dad was very proud of me when I got my license, because he knew I wanted to go to school in Texas, like as a flight attendant. And I applied for it already, but Mom she was so scared of everything. She didn't want, well, I guess during that time, there was a lot of racism or something, or, that kind of stuff. I didn't even know about it, but they didn't want me to go to Texas. I was only 19, kids. So that's what I'm saying, with God, anything is possible, because they were scared of this stuff going on in America in 1990. This was right after the fall of Berlin. That's why I love Ronald Reagan, kids, and I love Pope John Paul II. That's why I support these kids, because they're all coming for a reason. But it's because their own countries, they haven't been improved, since 1989. I know some of the kids of the basketball players, they say they didn't even have an in-house toilet until 1986. So to figure that out, I mean, that's how behind everything was. So anyways, and other than the people who really speaks English and, was raised in a better home and was educated and learned to fear God too, and learned the Ten Commandments like we did. Anyways, here it is. But that boy over there is telling the truth. Sometimes you don't know. That's why they need to teach the civic laws in school for all, even the citizens, because they don't even take these classes, so that's why they don't know.
And it makes you angry that President Trump does not believe in open borders.
Senator, I'm not here to discuss immigration policy. I'm here to discuss whether or not we use the military to enforce it.
No, we shouldn't.
Again, I am not here to discuss immigration policy.
Duty, honor, respect, we talked about that.
Yes,
In
Senator.
your opening statement. On October 14th of this year, let me see an email. Read you what you said. Make sure I'm accurate. Here's what you said. President Trump is not like any sane leader. I'm very proud of General Milley for saying that President Trump is a total fascist. Bob Woodward, if he is chairman of the Joint Chiefs is calling the president a fascist, I'm so proud of him for breaking that barrier. The challenge is because most MAGA Republicans, they don't understand what fascism is. The reality is that they are in fact fascists themselves. Did I read that?
Senator, I am happy to discuss my personal perspective with you separately at any time. That's not the purpose of the hearing today.
Did I read that accurately?
I believe so, yes.
You think you're smarter than the American people, don't you?
Absolutely not, Senator. I am here to discuss the use of the military as part of this massive deportation.
Okay, I understand where this gentleman is coming from, kids, because he's right. That's more taxpayer money because the military, the ICE, and all of those people who is doing this deportation massive is all public workers, and they're going to lose the Fed all, and they're gonna get rid of 2,000 USAID federal workers. That's gonna really bring down the economy. A lot of American people, including people who voted for Trump, they're all gonna wish that they didn't vote for Trump because Trump is gonna. He's 78. He's gonna retire. He's rich. Whenever the economy goes down, the rich always stays up on top, and the poor always go down the drain. So remember that, okay? If you did not learn that from, from the financial crisis and the pandemic. All right, my kids.
Like Carmel, do you believe in open borders? I do not, Mr. Kennedy. On November 1st, 2022, you tweeted, both Texas and Louisiana have their knives out for black immigrants. Do you remember that tweet?
I don't, but it's quite possible.
What Texans,
I agree because there was a lot of people from Haitian and I don't remember exactly the other country, but they're kind of islands too. They're not really black. I mean, they're not from Africa. They're just Haitians are not Africa. That's kind of like a Caribbean island.
you don't have a name, you just said Ken Paxton. All right, how about Louisiana? You said Louisiana has its knives out for black immigrants. Who in Louisiana were you talking about? Again,
Okay, kids, the problem here in this hearing, it is not about the deportation part. It is about the funds that the federal has and about how much the government has. If you notice, since since 2008, they haven't had any government lockdown because they couldn't. They had to keep working in order for the government stuff to be done, like the American people and everything else, like around the world. So that's what this is all about. It's the spending. Okay, how much money is gonna cost to deport? I mean, people, even good people. Okay, so what it's worth is what it's worth. Is it worth to, like, really bring down the economy all the way down to to drain the economy? Because now you have no customers, you have no workers, you have not enough money to run the government. They're gonna be closing down the government again, like they haven't since the financial crisis. So that's what this hearing is all about. So anyways, all right, here you go.
So we have a broken immigration system. Actually, the two senators who are sitting here, the chairman and the former chair of the committee, who were part of a comprehensive immigration reform. So I don't know why we cannot come to some sort of an agreement to deal with the massive, complex issues that confront us. So that is what I'm calling for. Until we make a commitment.
Yeah, address the
Immigration reform. Pointing fingers at the Biden administration or any other administration is not going to get us anywhere. policies, for example, I certainly didn't support the Trump policy of separating thousands of children from their parents without keeping track of who their parents were. All I'm asking for is a rational, reasonable, humane immigration policy. So that was what I thought the comprehensive immigration bill in 2013 was. I didn't agree with all of the provisions, but some of us were.
I'm very grateful to a senator from Hawaii because she was with the senator from Maryland to, you know, for helping out with all these, these kids that was brought here, as little kids, okay, in 2010. But of course, this started from 2001. But I know God said there's a lot of evil people since 2000 when they put me in jail.
Really hard on it, and Senator Graham, as I mentioned, was part of that. So that's what I think we ought to be focusing on. Now, in a general manner, I'm glad you're here because we have a president who has said many times that he intends to use the military to do immigration policies, to affect his immigration policies in a general manner. You said that that is going to have a very negative impact on readiness, for example, because our military, including the National Guard, they are not trained for immigration enforcement. So, as the chair currently of the Armed Services Committee's Readiness Subcommittee, I share your concerns. By the way, maybe you can go over again a little bit more. What kind of infrastructure would be needed to enforce immigration deportation on up to 4% of our population? What kind of infrastructure would we need in order to effect that?
I have to defer to the utilities program.
Okay, well then that would be Mr. Ragnar-Melnick.
Yes.
Would you like to go into some of that?
Senator, in order to carry out that form of operation would require hiring tens of thousands of new law enforcement agents. It would require building dozens, if not hundreds, of new detention centers, hiring thousands of new judges, all at a cost of hundreds of billions of dollars, potentially up to or more than $1 trillion over the course of more than a decade.
Do you support comprehensive immigration reform?
I do.
Does anybody on this panel not support comprehensive immigration reform that really gets to some of the problems, that really addresses the issues that we're facing? Anybody on the panel?
Senator, I have to say, comprehensive immigration reform is not a defined term, and as with all
Well, you
legislation,
can
the
look
devil's in the
at,
details.
you can look at the 2013 bill, and that had some of the kinds of, that would be what I would describe as comprehensive. It was not the answer, it was not the be-all and end-all, but it was pretty comprehensive, wouldn't you say?
I was actually on the bench at the time that bill was introduced. I was an immigration judge and not involved in legislation.
Well, it was, trust me when I say that, it was about as comprehensive immigration reform as we have managed to do in over a decade at this point, and that's more, I think, what we need to do. And I don't think there's anybody here who supports something called the open borders, because as I said, every single administration has had border enforcement policy. You may not agree with all of that. I don't think there's anybody sitting here who supports open borders, whatever the heck that means. But we all know that we need to have border control. We need that. But what are we going to do about the 11 million to 13 million undocumented people here who are very much a part of our community and the fabric of many, many communities, not to mention that there are U.S. citizens that are part of their families. And are we going to start busting them up? What's that going to do? So, before we start throwing out all kinds of so-called solutions, I think we need to think about what are we going to do to have a rational, reasonable immigration policy. That's what I'm calling for. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
She makes a really good point right here, my kids. And I think, maybe it shouldn't be called amnesty, but for all of these people, it should be called, maybe like you said, a comprehensive. So that would be just for the law, an added law, like the, what do you call it, the the Gang of Eight. Maybe they should have that for all of these people and just let it be, because I think she makes a really good point, because amnesty was done, in Ronald Reagan, but the Gang of Eight should probably just have whatever that is for that period. I think in 2008, I think they came out with this. I think. But anyways, yeah, God had me started watching this after I went to jail in 2000 kids, and that's why I've been watching it ever since then. And because I was trying to find out who the evil people were that God was talking about. But of course, Saddam Hussein was one who bombed the 9/11 right after. Of course, there's a lot, but God uses people for his evil days, so bad people. So anyways, I say this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.